Ever think about why some people do what they do? Seem naturally attractive. You know, the ones who are naturally good at getting attention and admiration everywhere they go today. We're going to figure out that code. Find out the secret to being incredibly attractive, interesting, what kind of person everyone wants to be there. But not before we dive. I got to go on this interesting trip. Ask yourself if this information is valuable to you. You might want to subscribe to the channel by giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below, and tell us about your adventures or their hopes for the subject. And here's my challenge. You wait until the end of this video. You'll learn not only how to get more interesting, but also how to use it in a useful and powerful way. Let's talk about how interesting your life is. About something cool being. It's interesting when you tell a piece by piece, and people are just, I have to know more and more. That's it. It's not supposed to leak everything at first. It's like telling a secret, but small steps to keep everyone on. They couldn't wait to find out what happened next. When you talk about your life, your trips, and the crazy things, it's much cooler to show what you've done. Details slowly, like you don't want to start by giving away the ending of the story. You talk about the beginning right away. Build tension, share the good and downs, and only then do you show how. The end of it all really sparked the people who are listening, want to know more. It's not just about when you talk about yourself, it's about letting the other person too. You can join the story too, you know. Share a piece, take a break, and let the imagine asking questions, and then you keep talking, which makes the conversation go on. A lot more fun and interesting for everyone played a part. Another important thing is to pick what to share. Being smart, not everything is for everyone. Yes, you'll know who they are. I like hearing it and what's kind of you change, because you don't know, going flat the story more interesting for people who listen. And you know what? Being interested isn't just about when you're. It's about life in. Be the kind of person that everyone wants to be. Keep an eye on them, because you never know what they know what to expect, but it's going to be good. Like, be someone who motivates, who gets people through the day just by being around. So to sum it up, share things, slowly build tension and get people involved in your story, and pick what to share. You'll be smart to see what people want, to stay and die to find out more and more about your trips. Present your, okay, let's move on to the next part. Will show how much you're worth. Being high has nothing to do with it mighty or going around bragging about how great it is, more about really being yourself and letting that speak for you when you're proud of something you do. It could be anything, like helping, seeing someone finish a job, or even getting to know something new, right? There is a silent way to show who you are. It looks like what you're doing is screaming at the, hey world, take a look at this. I'm valuable. Hey, it all starts with how you feel. Look at yourself. If you care about yourself, if you know how much you're worth, proves you don't need to say. It's like a glow that people can see. You need to know something. Draws people in, which makes them respect you more. But don't get this mixed up with being perfect is fine. No one is being real means living up to your. Also, when you mess up, you take responsibility for it. It shows that you can learn from it and move on. A lot of strength, and people should believe me. Thanks a lot. So what do? You act around people the way you do when big deal that nobody is watching, all of that. At times, it seems like all of these things are a puzzle piece that, when put together, shows who you really are, because you know what will happen next. Don't even have to explain your how important an awful lot of social media fans. No, it has to do with something much bigger. Being aware of yourself and what makes you happy. Having goals makes your heart beat faster. It's important to have dreams, but understanding the road there, the little wins, that's the real lessons. Learn to be happy. You need to understand that things don't always go as planned, and that's fine. What matters is how you stay true to you, are always looking for the silver pudding in situations. So start to look inside yourself more. Pay attention to what means most to you. Follow your dreams and take care of thee. When people you love do things that make you feel, it will make you feel good to know that. You'll see a change by making for your own happiness. You not only turn into a more happy person, but also someone whose presence is always sought after and worth building. So why not do that now? Feeling happy right now. Think about what really makes you smile and what peace and move in that direction. Embrace your worth, understand, and a big part is showing what you're worth. Life isn't just about how you feel about who you are and what you stand for. What people will think and do about you when you know how valuable you are. Really letting everyone know who I am and what I deserve, and that's strong to know your worth now, doesn't happen overnight. It is a process that starts with little things. Things like letting yourself what you've done, no matter how small they might look, like it's time to stop and think. I did this, and I did it well. Help you build a strong base of self-esteem, as well as expressing your going around talking doesn't make it worth it. It's not just about how great you are about the things you do and how you act and talk to other people. It's about having respect for yourself and asking for the same respect in people. Please come back when you do that. Notice how they start to treat you according to the level you set. And you know what? By proving your worth, you're also teaching other people to see there. If you think about it, you're like a mirror. Tell people what they need to do too. This is a good deal that starts a good cycle, where respect for each other is the basis of all relationships. So start paying attention yourself, enjoying your wins, and finding out from every event has its own problems. Something useful to teach you about who you are and what you know. The more you show the world of yourself, don't forget how much you're worth by taking care of yourself. You figure out how you want to be handled by other people, and that makes all the change in how you feel about yourself and to set the tone for your relationships. Choice. Making your own way through life it's like making a map route that only you can see, that this map is full of some roads lead to dead ends or shortcuts. That being said, it's all yours. Every choice you make, every move what you value determines what you should do. Makes you think about, it's not these things that bother us, but this is what we think they mean. A simple but deep idea suggests that we have power over how we see and act. That's what it means to the people around us. That most of the time the only thing we can is how we feel about the problems, chances that getting up and living your own life means accepting this power to choose, being aware that while we might not be in charge of everything that things happen to us, we are free to pick how we will answer, and that's where the magic happens. Things that happen when you stay true to yourself, making choices that are in line with you. You not only live up to your beliefs and passions, a shining honesty, but also become the source of ideas for. Some people are drawn to those who be brave and honest, to live a life in line with what really, it's easy to see that it does matter. Take a look around and see this at work. Who the people are that we really admire and would like to be. They are the ones who, despite the storms, decide to steer their own ship with self-assurance and drive, so that, remember that you choose your own way. Every decision and every step is a chance. Remind yourself of what you do and who you are. It's not about what you want from life, a road without rough spots, but instead being able to say, I lived on my own terms, which, by the way, I question you to promise to value every day, taking better care of yourself. And if you take on this task, you should leave a note saying, I'll be a new, let's keep going person. Putting yourself first is one of those things that might look selfish at first look, but it's really one of the most powerful and kind things you can do for other people and yourself. Putting self-care first and being self-sufficient isn't just having what you need, peace and quiet, or taking care of your health in the body. It's also about getting your mind stronger and your being strong and taking care of your soul. When you put yourself on top of your most important things, you're sending a clear message to the world and yourself: I care about myself enough to. For me, this shows a lot of inner power and faith that other people will not only pay attention, but also admire and respect. The truth is that you can improve your own. How good your life is automatically become more important to the people around you. Think about it. How can you give the best of? If you're tired, compare yourself to others stressed out or forgotten. It's like trying to fill someone else's cup with a picture of nothing in it. You must first add your own picture. That means time to do things and chill out. You love taking care of your body, and keep in mind that it also means having the guts to. When something doesn't serve you, say no. Well-being: setting up healthy. Set limits that keep your energy safe and peace. By taking care of yourself, you also grow more. When you're self-sufficient, you learn to depend on yourself more, on yourself to come up with creative answers to your problems and get stronger after every fall. And this freedom is very beautiful. It shows that you are someone who not only stays alive, but does well, even when things are hard. Putting yourself first doesn't work either. Mean not caring about what other people need. Not at all. It means you're in a better place to help, because you're being from a place of plenty, not being short on things when you're feeling good. There is more love, patience, and energy in you. Kindness to help others. Show the how to use ancient advice to get ahead. The difficulties of the present day in How to be Stoic in the 21st Century on ebook. Old methods for new problems. Figure out how to grow. Resilience leads to wealth, and get your relationships stronger. Don't take this chance to get your copy. Now type in the link in the saved comment value. Taking care of your time, like it were gold, is one of the smartest things you can do to change. This means being aware of every moment you have is valuable and won't be returned. So it's important to be careful about how and with who you'll spend that time with when you do. This way, you're not only making your own life and show the people around you how much time you spent and added value. Think of your time as a valuable coin. It's not something you'd want to spend it on anything, right about the same, every hour. You should spend every minute of your day spent time on hobbies and people that really do make things better. This can change many things in your life. Spending time on something you love. Time with people who make you feel good. Relaxing times that really recharge your powers. By being picky about what you use time, you're in essence telling the world, I know how much I'm worth, and the time I have to do this not only makes your life better, but it also makes other people respect you more. Start to understand that to be they need to bring something to life, of value just like you. It also helps to value your time. You live longer deeply when you're really there, deeply interested in what you're doing or with who you're with, makes the experience better. And more important, having adventures isn't about making every second with things to do, but about making sure that the times you pick to live are full. And remember this, and here's a key point, it's important to learn how to say no. In this process isn't simple, but it's that every no you give to something, yes, that's not worth it. Giving to yourself and what really matters, coming up with ideas and making plans when it comes to building strong and healthy relationships, sharing thoughts and getting together. Making plans is very important, which means that whether they are talking to someone or before you choose what to do, it's important to get when you're in charge, but not too much. And sometimes make room for the other person to do what you make them do, somewhere where everyone feels listen, be respected, and be a part of the, if you want to think of it as a, when you dance, sometimes you lead the steps and directions. Sometimes you, after letting the other person show how this going back and forth makes peace where no one feels left out or took on too much duty of keeping things moving in real life. Being careful can be enough to do this. Hearing what the other person has to say, when to give helpful feedback, and now it's your turn to share your own thoughts. With getting excited about planning it, means such as choosing together which show to watch, a place to eat, or even imagining and making plans for long-term goals like trips or joint shows. This dynamic of giving and taking in, saying and listening not only makes the friendship stronger, but also makes the bond between people stronger when everyone feels like they are a part of the process. Promise to the friendship and shared goals raises. This makes you feel like, when everyone works together as a team, they cared about each other's progress and how well the relationship worked as a whole. On top of this constant exchange of thoughts and the habit of making plans together, encourage individual and group. We learn to listen better as we grow, to say what we want and what we need, clear, and to be more open and flexible other people. All of these points of view are useful, skills that help us but in all of your personal situations, parts of life. Control your feelings. Keeping your feelings in check is a skill for your own health and happiness, and your health relationships. When you learn how to deal with your feelings in a smart and grown-up way, you're not just taking care of yourself, but also setting up a place where things can go well between people in a good. In this case, the goal isn't to prevent. Why you feel the way you do is normal. Response to the things we've been through, meet, and each of them holds. Seeing your importance is important. Understand your feelings and where they come from, and then make up your mind how to respond to them. This shows a deep being self-aware and having self-control, things that garner naturally respects and admire something. For example, if bothers or angers you, instead of taking action in the heat of the moment, step back, take a deep breath, and ask. Ask yourself what's making you feel this way and what you can do about. It's sometimes the best thing to do is to talk about your problems using reason and cool. Instead of letting them happen, describe your does things that this mental control doesn't. Not only does it help you, it also has a have on the people around you. When you keep your cool in tough times and clear thinking, instead of impulsiveness or annoyance, you're making a safe place for talking and getting along. Knowing this makes it stronger. It shows that ties, people know they can count on you, even when there is dispute or tension. Also, dealing with your feelings with being mature helps you deal with life's problems in a more fair and in a successful way, which means fewer disputes that aren't necessary and more energy to pay attention to what really counts, meaningful connections that help you reach your setting goals and having a full and to live a happy life. Know when to leave. Knowing the right thing to do, a moment to get away from things or breakups with people who no longer help you, is a strong way to show respect for yourself. It's not about giving up easily or running away at the first sign of not having trouble, but rather knowing when some kind of setting or relationship become bad for you and not helpful for you. Making this choice, even though it's hard, is a sign of self-worth and courage. By making this choice, you're sending a strong message to you, to yourself and everyone else. I value your peace and happiness. Happiness over being stuck in something that isn't good for you. This not only backs up your pride in oneself and shows others how important it is to respect your presence and contribution. Think of it as moving toward there are times to water and take care of a yard, for the plants, giving them everything they need to do well, but there are times when it's important to that despite everything you did, some plants will not do well in those. At times, you need to have the good sense to get rid of things that aren't. The garden as a whole is in bloom can be both healthy and beautiful. Being able to tell when to step away lets you focus your attention on building relationships and experiences that really make your life even more by setting this. When you set a limit, you're also making a set of rules for how you want to be. This doesn't mean expecting to be treated, things or people that are perfect, but instead looking for a place where respect for each other is the basis of everything. Knowing the right time to do something. Leaving is a useful skill that shows being emotionally mature. And by becoming more self-aware, you not only keep your health in mind, but also make room for something new and better. By going through life and finding happiness in finding out and getting bigger and happier as they do it, how learning and changing works is like setting out on an endless journey where new things are found at every step. Around the world, give yourself this love of growth, and having understanding not only makes you a more pretty and interesting person to people, because who wouldn't want to be around someone whose life's work is so spreading when you put your mind to? You can learn something new, whether it's learning a language or even going further. When you turn a hobby into something you do more than you're just gathering information for, getting a bigger picture of the world, flexible, original, and able to understand. These traits are very important and make you someone people want to talk to, spend time with and share ideas with. In addition to the constant chase of your growth as a person shows that you're not someone who makes you feel at ease. You're not trying to beat yourself out of a need for approval from outside sources, but because you know what people are really capable of. Lies in being able to change this makes other people want what you want in order to become better people. And the most beautiful thing about this process is that as you learn and get better, you find new things that make you happy. It might be fun to solve the joy of understanding a difficult problem, an abstract idea, or the feeling of being able to see how far you've come. At these times of success, not only bring a deep sense of happiness, but also boost your self-esteem and trust. Remember that your learning does not need to be scary or alone, or it can be a shared and event full of laughter, problems, and times of pure joy. Be interested in the people around you, their stories and what they know. This will not only make your life more interesting with new points of view, but also strengthen yours. Give yourself time to be with people. Give yourself time to be with people. Give yourself permission to always learn, someone who sees every day as the chance to learn and grow. When you do that, you not only find happiness with your own growth, but also serve as a source of inspiration for all those who are lucky enough to have crossing your path. If you liked what we wrote, please like and subscribe to keep getting you on our journey of growth. Some interesting videos were added to the What This Video Is About for you.